If you are looking to buy a car, tariffs could drive up the cost by thousands of dollars. President Trump is implementing a 25% tariff on imported cars and vehicle parts, a move he claims will help restore U.S. manufacturing and create American jobs.
What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
Wedbush analyst Dan Ives warned investors that Trump's escalating trade war would send the auto industry into chaos and raise the average price of cars between $5,000 to $15,000 right out of the gate, adding every automaker in the world will have to raise prices in some form selling into the U.S. Morgan Stanley analysts out with a note echoing the same bearish sentiment, saying car prices could rise 11 to 12%. Trump telling NBC News he simply doesn't care if foreign automakers raise prices.
Quote, I couldn't care less if they raise prices because people are going to start buying American-made cars.
U.S. automakers are already starting to adjust production plans. In late March, Hyundai announced a $21 billion deal in the U.S. with Trump, including a $5 billion plant the South Korean automaker is set to build in Louisiana. Now, even still, nearly half of all vehicles sold in the U.S. are imported, according to industry data. Some U.S. auto brands sold to Americans, like Tesla, are manufactured domestically, while others make some of their models in factories outside the country. Shares of the big three U.S. automakers, Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, all sank when Trump announced the auto tariffs at the end of March. GM and Stellantis import about 45% of the vehicles they sell in the U.S., while Ford imports around 20%. And it's not just the price of cars that could go up. Auto parts are among the main imports to America. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, auto part imports to the states totaled $197 billion last year. Now, other countries may soon hit back with retaliatory tariffs. The European Commission president says the EU has plans to counteract. Canada, China, and Mexico have already responded to Trump's previous tariffs with retaliatory measures of their own. Imagine paying over $124,000 for a Harley motorcycle that costs just $28,000 in the US. According to an assessment by the Wall Street Journal, that could be the reality in places like Denmark if the EU fires back with massive tariffs in response to President Trump's trade war. Dan Ives, in a March 28th note, said there is no winner from the auto tariffs. However, Trump has found an unlikely ally. UAW President Shawn Fain, who has been a vocal critic of Trump and endorsed Biden in the presidential election, now has sided with Trump on this issue, agreeing that the U.S. need to do more to protect American workers, saying, "We applaud the Trump administration for stepping up to end the free trade disaster that has devastated working-class communities for decades. These tariffs are a major step in the right direction for auto workers and blue-collar communities across the country, and it is now on the automakers, from the big three to Volkswagen and beyond, to bring back good union jobs to the U.S." But it is middle-class households that potentially stand to bear the weight of these tariffs. So what should car buyers expect? One economist told the New York Times, bottom line, lower production, tighter supply, and higher prices are around the corner. For Investors Business Daily, I'm Claire O'Connor.